Hey there, it's your insider, Sindy Thomas, welcoming you into another episode of the Insider's Career Club. Our podcast is designed to help job seekers be successful in their job search. You can learn a lot if you listen on the regular. There's free resources too, to help with your career progression or just to land that great position. And you can find those resources at www.insiderscareerclub.com. But that's not all we have to offer. We also spotlight different careers and help those employed in the know with timely career news and advice with our newsletter. By now you know that I've been an in-house talent acquisition recruiter, manager, and director for the last 25 plus years. And during that time, I've interviewed thousands of candidates and worked with managers to fill their positions. Now, before we get started with the podcast topic, I would like to let you know that there was a glitch with the podcast that I planned to release, and I had to do a new one. So we'll be back on track for our regular next edition on March 2nd. Now, today's topic is how to stay visible for remote workers. Let's get to it. So, have you been working remotely because of COVID and you decided that you really like it? But when your yearly review happened, you suffered because you weren't inside the office. And are you grappling with the dilemma that you may be falling behind career-wise because you're not as visible as before? Well, hear this. Working remotely doesn't have to have this effect on your career. Staying visible, you can do it. There are a number of good things that staying visible will do for you. It can raise your profile and keep you top of mind for worthwhile projects. People will start to see you as an emerging team leader. It will prove your value to the team as well as the company. And then, with all that, it'll have a positive effect on you. You'll feel more engaged, and feeling more engaged will give you a higher level of job satisfaction, and you'll feel more fulfilled. So how have you stayed engaged with your manager and team while working off-site? It's okay if it's taking you too long to come up with an answer to this question. You can make some changes. Now, here are some ideas to assist you in becoming more visible at work to your manager and teammates while working off-site. Think about it. How would you rate your participation in team meetings? Are you sitting in on Zoom calls with a picture of you on the screen, or even maybe a blacked out screen with just your name? Please stop it. You need to actively participate in team meetings with your face, your voice, your mind, and your ideas. How would your coworkers describe your email or call response time? Now, if you used a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being excellent, where would you fall? If you're at a 6 or below, you need to improve. And you can make it a point to improve your response time in responding to emails and calls in a more timely manner. You decide when you'll respond. Will it be within 4 hours, by the end of business day, within 24 hours, or maybe even longer? Keep in mind, too, that if it's going to be a while before you can answer properly, send an acknowledgement email to let the sender know that you've seen their email and let them know when they can expect an answer from you. While you're doing that, you can also ask when they need an answer. Now that's being responsible and proactive. And how are you in engaging with your team members when you're not in a meeting? Well, you can make an unsolicited phone call. You can send them an email or set up a short meeting just to touch base and say hi. Find out what they're doing. What are their projects? It's a great way to stay in touch with teammates as well as cross-functional team members. Also remember, when you work remotely, your voice is a powerful touch point. Another tip to stay visible can be as simple as offering to be a team resource or helping on a teammate's project. You can try giving your teammates credit for something that they did. Sing their praises in the next team meeting. It will give them props. They'll appreciate it, and it'll boost morale. It'll also encourage other people to help you too. Don't keep a low profile. So would you say you're an island unto yourself, never asking for advice? If this describes you, you might as well be working under a rock. Make it a point to ask others for help. Keep in mind, requesting help from others not only makes them feel useful, but needed as well. And it gives them a chance to shine. It's also a good way to expand your knowledge and good for building relationships. Just don't ping them so often they're tired of hearing from you. Next up, you can volunteer for extra work. Let your manager know you're willing to take on more projects to help the team. Now, right now, this is an especially timely tip because with the shortage of workers, there just aren't enough hands. Now, I can hear you thinking, extra work? Cindy, have you lost your mind? Well, when you're making that request, you can specify the kinds of projects you might want to work on, and as well as decline the work if you're overloaded. Now, asking to do more will help you learn more by working on different types of projects you don't ordinarily get to work on. Now, if you're not doing this on a regular basis, ask to meet regularly with your manager. Ask for a check-in meeting. They should usually happen either bi-monthly or once a month, depending on how big your team is. It's a valuable time for you to ensure you're on track with your work and that you don't need to improve somewhere, as well as to find out if your work's on target. It's also a good time to let the manager know the good things that you've been doing to contribute to the team. Another thing you can try is to share information. Information that you may find online or just gets dropped into your email box is meant to be shared for the common good. Don't be an information hoarder. You can update your manager and teammates with the information that you find. This will help ensure your teammates and manager think of you as a resource and an active participating team member. Stay engaged and share articles and other resources with teammates. I'm sure they're going to value it, and it also shows you're thinking of them, helping them to succeed. Come up with your own ways to help others. Next, this is a big one. Find a mentor, preferably one that works for the same company you do. Having a mentor is a great way to grow and to learn. Now, your mentor should be someone who is several levels higher above you and who can and will be an advocate for you. They can champion your cause to company executives. They should also be able to coach you and help you grow in your particular field. A mentor's mission is to guide you in your career with sound advice. They can help you more easily navigate the career minefield so you don't make judgment errors where your career is concerned. Up next, an insider's tip. Do you keep track of your accomplishments? I'm talking about writing them down, people. If you don't, you should, for your own use, as well as having something solid you can share with your manager during your one-on-ones. Don't take for granted that your manager knows what you're doing, and even if they do, they may forget. If they're managing several people, it's hard to keep track of everything, and they have their own job. So use this tool when evaluating your yearly work as well. It's great for that. So what you can do is to put a simple spreadsheet together with things you accomplished, either weekly, by month, or by the quarter. It can include any of your special contributions that you made to the team, like ideas for streamlining some work, redoing a template or something, reports or special resources that you pulled together. All these things, as well as your own ideas, will ensure your value and place on the team and keep you top of mind. You will no longer be invisible. So glad you joined us today. Now, if you enjoyed the podcast, please like us because your ratings matter. We'll be bringing new podcasts every 2 weeks on the first and third Wednesdays. My goal is to help you in your careers. Now, to continue to make that happen, though, I need your support. By listening regularly, we can keep this going. You can also help by sharing the podcast with your network of friends, family, and coworkers. Heck, send it to your enemies. Ask them to listen. We're on Apple and Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, and all the other major podcast hosting sites. And if someone is not so savvy, tell them they can go listen on our website at www.insiderscareerclub.com. I appreciate your support. Stay safe and take care.